So the other day I made a Lego Captain Rex in 2 minutes, 20 minutes and in 2 hours, and yeah, you guys seem to like it. So I thought to myself, who is another iconic clone trooper that I can make? And the answer was pretty obvious. He first made his appearance in Revenge of the Sith. He is Obi-Wan Kenobi's right-hand man, or well, was until he did that. But of course I'm talking about the legendary Commander Cody. So now, unlike Rex, LEGO have never even bothered to make him in his Phase 2 form. And of course, who doesn't want a Commander Cody leading their Phase 2 212th Army? So I thought, you know what, it's up to me, I've got to make my own. So today I'm going to be making a Commander Cody in 2 minutes, 20 minutes and in 2 hours. So of course, if you haven't already watched the Captain Rex version of this, I'll leave a link up in the top corner as well as at the end of the video if you guys want to go check that one out. Okay, but I've got a secret to tell you before we get into the video, guys. I've been doing a study and research has found that if you are subscribed to the channel, then you are 50% less likely to step on LEGO in the next 24 hours. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want sore feet tomorrow, so hit that subscribe button and stay a part of the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. But without further ado, let's head straight into the 2-minute custom. Okay, so we have the timer in the background, 2 minutes on the clock. Let's get started with the 2-minute custom Cody. Okay, so that was a lot easier than I expected. We only needed 1 minute and about 20 seconds right there. But this is the 2-minute Cody right here. We have the legs from the Airborne Trooper. So this is the old Airborne Trooper from the Battle Pack. Then we have the torso just from the regular Cody torso from the Phase 1 version. Now this works pretty well. There's only a slight difference on the Phase 2 between the Phase 1 and Phase 2 torso. So that works pretty well. And the legs work pretty well with the little orange stripes right there as well. I think that looks pretty accurate. Then we just have a blaster right there. A regular clone head, as Cody's head is pretty standard. All he has is like a little scar, so I wasn't able to get that in there, but yeah, I think that looks pretty good with this sort of like frizzy haircut right here. I know this was on a Victor Crumb minifig, maybe like a fin as well, not entirely sure, but yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we have the regular Phase 2 212th helmet right here, as that's probably the closest thing we can get to the Cody helmet. And then we have the visor on there. Obviously that doesn't look very good right there. Sadly the Phase 2 helmets don't have holes for the visors, so I just kind of had to balance it on there, but I think it looks pretty good, and I don't think that's a bad job for a 2-minute custom. But I think it's time to step up our game and move into the 20-minute custom. So it's now time for the 20-minute custom, and you know what that means, it's decaling time. Let's go. Okay, so there is the 20-minute fig completed. So you'll notice this is a Jonak decal. So this is from Jonak Toys. Basically, it does its best to sort of mimic the Lego print. So everywhere there's Lego printing, there is printing on this fig. Obviously, it doesn't go around the back of the helmets, doesn't go around the back or the sides of the legs. And I think it turned out pretty well. It's a pretty fun fig. It was pretty easy. I haven't decaled in a few weeks, so it's been a bit of a warm-up for the actual 2-hour fig. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into the actual 2-hour fig. So you know what? Let's get started. Okay, so we're set up and ready for the 2-hour Cody. This is the decal sheet I'm going to be doing. This is actually an AV Figures decal sheet. It's a slightly old one, but it is also a weathered Cody. So this is going to be really cool. It's going to be like a battle damage kind of Cody. You can see there's loads of little marks all over his body. But yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. I'm really excited to try this out. I think it's just about time to get started. And there we go, that is the 2-hour figure finished in less than an hour. I'm pretty hyped about that. Actually, that was quite a quick decal process. I really enjoyed this fig. I haven't decaled in a few weeks, so it was quite nice to get back to the AV decals and have a bit of fun with it. But yeah, you can see a pretty detailed helmet right there. It's got all the weathering all the way around it. I think it looks really good right there. Then we have the legs, of course, with the different battle damage on there, the head and the arms, and then over here we have the torso, which is the first piece that I did do. Pretty happy with how these turned out. Obviously, we've now got to get them sealed. Same with the 20-minute fig. I'm going to get them all sealed, and then I'm going to cut back in and show you the finished figures right now. Let's go. Okay, so now all the figs are sealed. They're all ready to be put together now. If you didn't know, you have to seal these guys after decaling. So you basically spray them with like this clear coat of sealant to stop any of the decals peeling off. I did have one little problem. This one right here is slightly yellow. Basically, there's a really fine balance between under sealing and over sealing. And if you just go a tiny bit too far, you can get this slight yellow tint to it, which is really annoying. I don't think you'll notice it very much, but I might try and scrape it off a little bit and fix it. But yeah, I think overall it looks pretty good. Maybe it'll add to the battle damage look to it. But yeah, otherwise we have the helmet, we have the legs, we have the head, and then we have the arms right here, looking pretty good. And then of course we have the Jonak fig right here. So let's put them together and I'll cut back in once I finish that. Okay, so there are the two figs right there. Of course, they are missing something pretty important right now, and that is the visors on their helmet. So let's go and get those, and we'll see the finished figs all compared together. Okay, so there are the three figs right there. We have obviously the 2-minute custom, we have the 20-minute custom, and we have the 2-hour custom. I'm really happy with the way these guys turned out. I think they look awesome. All three of them look pretty sick, and I'd love to get LEGO to make any of these ones really. But I think if they do make it, I think the middle one is the most likely of how he would look. I think that would be pretty sick if they made him like that. But yeah, pretty hyped with this. I really actually love the way the 2-hour custom turned out with all the detail. That's the kind of clone trooper I like, but I know a lot of other people don't like that ton of detail, so I think a lot of people will choose the 20-minute custom. But let me know in the comment section down below, which is your favorite of these three Codys. I think the left one is pretty cool, but it's definitely too minimalistic for my liking. And then I think the middle one is cool, but again, I think it looks too similar to the 2020 style rather than the realistic style, which is what I prefer. I will be selling the middle one, so make sure you go check out my Instagram if you want to buy this fig right here. Now that we've taken a look at all three figs, I think it's time to take a deeper dive at each one and take a look at their details. So first up we have obviously the 2-minute fig. We've already had a little look at this guy right here, but yeah, he looks pretty cool. Very, very minimalistic and very, very basic. Obviously with the orange arms right there, the P1 Cody torso, the regular head, the frizzy hair, and then the regular helmet over there with the little visor clipped on. Obviously not the most accurate thing in the world, and I did give him a regular blaster as well. Very basic. Let's move on to the 20-minute fig. So for this 20-minute fig, of course, this is meant to match the LEGO style printing with the 501st Clone Trooper. So it's meant to match that 2020 style, the new sort of style with the foot printing and everything else in there. I think this looks kind of cool. I think this will match really nicely with the other clones that LEGO continue to make over the years, and I think it does match the 501st one pretty well. Obviously pretty basic back print right there, then obviously the helmet print going only halfway over as LEGO like to do, and then of course the different markings on his helmet looking pretty cool as well. And then there's the visor, which is pretty standard, a CAC visor right there. And then of course again I did give him a regular blaster as well. Now the final fig, and of course my favorite, is the AV Figures Commander Cody. Really love the way this guy turned out with the battle damage. I think this looks awesome, but it's way above anything LEGO will ever make. Sadly, I don't think they'll ever make a clone trooper with this amount of detail. I do love the wraparound arms that AV are now doing on their figures. I think that looks amazing, and just the full detail running all the way around the legs, all the way around the torso, all the way around 360. Every single surface is pretty much covered. And then of course a few little details on the helmet. We have the red line that wraps around underneath the visor, then all the weathering and different damage to the helmet. Looks amazing, and this was actually quite a tricky helmet to do, and I think it turned out pretty well. Then obviously we have the similar markings, but this guy is in the realistic style, so it's slightly different to the 2020 style. And then of course down the torso we do have that little bit of yellowing, which was a shame. I'm really annoyed I managed to do that, but it's not too bad, and I think it does add a little bit to the weathered effect to it. Then of course down the legs we have more details all the way around 360, and a custom blaster in his hand right there. You can see also the regular CAC visor as well. I was thinking about doing a weathered Cody visor, but I don't have any of the Cody visor decals, so I had to go with just this visor right here. So for the head itself we have the little scratch, which mimics what Cody actually looks like in real life or in the actual universe, and I think this looks pretty good. I think it mimics the scratch that he has on his face really well, and adds just that little bit more detail to set him apart from the regular clone trooper. The 2020 style one did in fact just have a plain regular head right there as well. And I do love these new Lego heads, and I think this scratch is a really nice addition to this head right here. Overall, this is definitely my favorite fig, but let me know in the comments which is your favorite out of these three. I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. Make sure to go check out my Clone Trooper Instagram linked down below, as well as my regular Instagram and my mock building Instagram. I have a load of different accounts over there, so make sure you go follow them, and also of course subscribe to this channel if you are new around here. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on any content, make sure you ring that notification bell, and then leave a like on today's video if you love Clone Troopers. And if you have any ideas for a future video I could do in this similar sort of vein, then make sure to let me know which Clone Troopers you'd love to see me make in both 2 minutes, 20 minutes and 2 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.